through and through. Oh, the Toon Review. Laughs and passion, football too. We are the Toon Review. By the fans, for the fans, through and through. Laughs and passion, football too. We are the Toon Review. 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 Go!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's show with myself, Paul. I am joined tonight by Alex, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the Zen Garden extraordinaire, Mr. Billy Tree. How are we doing, folks?
And good evening to all the Toon Review Massive, the Magpie Massive, all of you outstanding, fantastic, beautiful people out there in the house.
Ooh, into house tonight. Into house.
Well, that's 1-0, Alex.
Yeah, 1-0 to Billy. Yep, there you go.
The stepper.
Right, speaking of, guys, can I just say it, right? Nicola Radkoff. Paul, let me just say right away, the hat is cool and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you. This is a homage to one of the best podcasts that I watch online, and it is Bad Friends with Andrew Santino, and it is just a fantastic podcast. It is very funny, and I bought some of the merch, and it's fucking cold tonight, so I'm wearing my hat, and I've already had the Ali G comments from Billy and Alex. So if you hear tonight Billy and Alex throwing in little Ali G comments all fucking night, then that is why, folks, okay? So straight off the bat, there it is. That is it. They will be saying that all night tonight.
You has rights, I has rights, even animals has rights.
Good evening to the Staines Massive and all of that.
Is it because I is black and white?
Yeah, I'm Homer Simpson's kneecap, apparently. Unbelievable. I just decide to wear a hat, and I mean, it's not like anyone doesn't wear hats on a day-to-day basis, but because I wear a hat, I mean, it's mental. It's mental. So my hat tonight is a homage to Bad Friends, the Bad Friends podcast with Andrew Santino and that Bobby South Korean guy. A brilliant podcast, and that is my homage to them, not Ali G, as these two total wankers are trying to come out with tonight. So just ignore them, guys, and get your jokes in. Just get it off your chest. Everybody, before anybody goes any further, just get it off your chest. It's fine.
You know, Man United Portuguese winger from years ago, but never had a first name. I think his first name was Poo Nani, and Brim.
Nice one, Billy. Yes, you bastard. Anyway, if you do enjoy tonight's show, folks, please do hit the thumbs up button as per usual. And if you are new around here and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is completely free of charge, of course. You can as well become a member of the Toon Review by hitting the join button just underneath the live chat. And also, you can super chat the channel, which is the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will guarantee your comments to be read out on the show. However, it looks like the chat has frozen, if I'm not mistaken, guys. I haven't seen any chats come through in the last minute and a half, which is strange considering we got well over 700 people already watching.
Yeah, I was the same.
So if you are watching live, well, we have no idea because it seems like the chat has frozen. It's definitely frozen on YouTube because I'm looking at both.
Are we still on YouTube?
Yes, we're still broadcasting. Absolutely. The show is still going on. The show goes on. But I'm sure that will sort itself out in due course. I don't know what's going on with YouTube at the minute, fellas, because...
Post a comment, Paul. Post a comment, see if that comes through and forces it through.
Okay. I'll
do it. Fine.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Well, mine's just come through there, but it hasn't come through on the tube. So I think it's YouTube. I'll just try and post something on YouTube. Oh, no, it's there. It fires up again. There we go. So it's fired up. Thank you very much, everybody. I don't. Wow, yes, it is going well and truly going. By the way, I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube because there's been problems with a lot of stuff on YouTube at the minute, including the sync. Billy, I know you got comments on your.
It was okay on through StreamYard, but if I used OBS, fucking hell, I look like that bloke off Police Academy.
Yeah, well, it's not actually anything to do with OBS. It's nothing to do with StreamYard or anything. It's actually YouTube. Because I've seen a few videos today having people say the same comments. They've changed some sort of settings in the volume area of YouTube, and it's something called stable volume. Now, apparently, you're supposed to knock that off, and it sorts it out. But I've tried, and it doesn't give me the option. It's grayed out, so I'm not sure what's actually going on with that. So if you are having audio sync problems, it's nothing to do with the Toon Review, StreamYard or OBS. It is actually a YouTube issue at the minute, which I would imagine that they're working on. So I don't know what's going on, but I looked at my show this morning. I was in sync, if not a millisecond, but it is something going on. So I just need to let people know that it's not us here at the channel. Craig has super chatted saying, great podcast with Bobby Lee. I'm Bobby Mom. Exactly, Craig. I'm Bobby Mom. Except I can't go cross-eyed. But there you go. Right. Billy, you commentated on the England game last night, and I did think Anthony Gordon was outstanding, especially in the first half. He is really starting to shine now, but I said on the show this morning, we need him to bring that to the Newcastle side, don't we? And he did do an interview after the game saying that he realises that he does need to, step it up at Newcastle and keep that level because he wants to be in that position for the World Cup. Clearly, Thomas Tuchel really likes Anthony Gordon, Billy, and there's a big opportunity for him to start in the World Cup as long as he keeps this form going at club level.
Well, he was good against Wales too, to be fair to him. He's had a really good international break with England. Played really well in both games. Got his goal last night. That can only be good for his confidence. He was beating. I know they're only Latvia, but he was beating players on the inside, on the outside last night. Really did have a good game. Really good to have a good game. And confidence is a massive thing for wingers. So I'm hoping when he comes back to us on Saturday for the Brighton game, that he'll have a lot of confidence to have a go at their fullbacks. But I'm sort of concerned that a lot of the Newcastle players seem to have played both of the games and will probably be knackered when they come back.
Well, Alex, it's not going to be easy, is it? Because, some of these players are coming back from long journeys, and we have to go to, and for once we've got a 3:00 kickoff on Saturday against Brighton. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's going to be proper tired, Paul.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. Indeed, it's been...
Let it go, Alex, for fuck's sake, let it go.
Yeah, for real.
They are going to be tired. It's been a long journey for some of them. It's been a lot of important games. Of course, Newcastle United posting about our internationals quite regularly now. We're quite proud of it, which is nice.
Yeah.
So obviously Sandro with Italy, Bruno with Brazil, Gordon doing very well for England. It's what we wanted, but at the same time also not, because more chance of getting injured and being tired and not available or fully match fit and ready to go. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's the nature of the beast. However, all of the top clubs suffer from the same thing. So in theory, it is an even playing field. Just depends on their depth. But yeah, I agree with what Billy said, with the exception being that the goal itself being from open play. I think the Barcelona goal for Gordon was a tap-in. Of course, positioning was great, but it was a tap-in. 2 penalties against USG as well. So this was a proper OG AG goal. It was cutting in from the right, find the space, wrap it round the keeper into that bottom right-hand corner. That was his bread and butter, and he needs to get into the swing of doing that more. So yeah, he looked really good. He looked considerably better than Rashford. I know that the commentator was blowing smoke up his ass. I don't know why. Anybody else on the pitch touched the ball, it was quite standard commentary. Oh, it's Marcus Rashford on the ball. It was, whoa.
Do you know what though?
Why are we getting different commentary for just Marcus? Like, what's going on?
I mean, honestly, I don't know whether you guys noticed, but Rashford, I mean, he took players on, but he was overhitting the ball every time. Like going to the byline, he just managed to keep them in play.
I couldn't believe the lack of expanded commentary on the Anthony Gordon goal. But then when it was Harry Kane, Like the Gordon goal was, and Anthony Gordon's gets England 1-0 up. And then, and it is the ever-present, intelligent, dangerous Harry Kanebus the ninth. Like, Jesus Christ, some of these commentators just... I can see why you guys watch us, because I can't stand it. It drives me up the wall.
Yeah. What I found was hilarious was because Tuchel kind of blew smoke up Rashford's arse pre-game and then didn't pick him. All the press seemed to think that Rashford was playing, and certainly ITV did. Mm-hmm. So they did a 10-minute section on him before the game started. After the teams had been selected, they did a 10-minute section with an interview, etc., to a fucking substitute.
Yeah,
I mean, it was hilarious.
I think didn't Lee Dixon get pulled through the mud about some silly comment? I can't remember what he said. He said something stupid though.
Well, it's not like Lee Dixon doesn't say anything stupid, does he? I mean, he said that Elliot Anderson did well for Newcastle against Leeds this season, which...
well, he said something silly a couple of days ago as well about... I can't remember what it was now. I'll have to have a think.
I mean, Sam Matterface, he's nowhere near the likes of, Motson and
it's so poor.
Brian Moore back in the day. These old school commentators we kind of miss because these guys are just knobs. Geordie Girl with a super chat, thank you very much, or super sticker, I do apologise. Thank you very much for that. Now, it seems like reports from the Brazilian side of things, Bruno's had a fantastic time and getting plaudits left, right and centre now, which is brilliant. However, on the negative side, it looks like the experiment with Joe Linton may well not be going any further. There's a lot of reports from the Brazilian side of the media that Joe Linton he's not having the same effect really when he's playing or he's on the pitch for Brazil. He's looking lost. He's looking slow, I read this morning. Now, that may have something to do with the fact that we think he's still carrying some sort of knock somewhere. But, Billy, it's a little bit worrying, isn't it? Because we haven't seen the best of Joe this season either. And maybe over in Brazil, they're just wondering why he's in the squad, basically. He's not making any effect to the team.
Well, he's not your archetypal Brazilian player, is he? He's not the top.
No, he's not.
He's very much a Premier League player, an English type player playing in a Brazil shirt, and I can understand that's kind of alien to a Brazilian supporter. I don't think he had much chance actually. He came on as sub in the second game. I don't think he appeared in the first.
He didn't play in the first. No,
he's not had a lot of football at all really. So, it's his first appearance under Ancelotti. So, I don't think he'll just cast him away after 20 minutes of football. I think he'll have him in the squad next time.
He's a useful alternative for them, right? He's a very different profile. It's handy to have.
He brings something else to their team, like Billy says, doesn't he? He's not your typical Brazilian, and maybe if they need that kind of physical player in the middle,
for them, that only benefits us.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I've got to say I agree as well. It's just I find it baffling sometimes. I do the way they
I'd rather Joe Linton than a 35-year-old Jordan Henderson getting token minutes for England. Can we swap his nationality?
They were blowing smoke up his arse at the end of the game though as well, weren't they?
Christ.
I mean, he didn't do too bad to be fair to him, but it was against Latvia for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I mean,
I remembered what it was now. Lee Dixon. Sorry, Billy, to interrupt you. It was Lee Dixon commented on. I don't know why Pickford hasn't moved to a big club so far in his career. That was the comment, and Everton took big offence to that and posted, brand new stadium, X amount of league titles, European Cups, all of their honours list and everything, and in one of the best supported clubs, fan bases. And they're not wrong. We're not massive fans of Everton, but they're a similar elk of club to Newcastle United, and that
but if he said that about if that was one of our players, we'd react the same way, and Everton had every right to react the way they did, because that's complete disrespect. To be fair,
it is. It's horrible.
It's not very nice, and they should be pulled up on that kind of crap. Craig says Big Nick and Gordon on the score sheet is great, and Warren in with his insult. Wow, flip me Ali G into who's so cool, dude. Well, it looks like Warren's turned his attention to me tonight, Alex, instead of yourself. But there you go.
Oh, really? What did he say? I didn't even read it.
Well, just call him. Well, it's nice to know you're listening to the show, Alex, when I'm reading people's super chats.
I was reading a different comment, sorry.
Anyway, Big Nick off the mark as well last night. I wouldn't say it was a thunderous header, because it didn't actually come off his head, Billy.
No, it come off his Scottish shoulder blade, didn't it?
It doesn't matter, though, in fairness.
No, they don't show pictures in the score sheet, do they? Let's be honest. It was a goal against back three for Northern Ireland, which included two Macums. So happy days for me.
Well, I was worried about it at one stage. By the way, just the normal, as Aaron says there. Good evening, Mr. Rummenigge. That's what I was worried about, guys, if I'm openly honest. I was worried about the fact that, certainly Ballard would have known he plays for Newcastle, and let's try and put some sly little digs in, Billy.
Didn't happen, to be fair. I mean, there's not really a case of Ballard couldn't get close to him. I think apart from the goal, Ballard did pretty well against him, to be perfectly fair. And Trey Hume was on the far side of the pitch, didn't get anywhere close to Faltermada, who was a fantastic lick man for Germany. Didn't get much chance in the box, but the one he did get, he scored. So, yeah.
I don't think Germany played it with strengths, Billy.
Absolutely not. No, they don't.
They don't play it to his game. Like, you watch Newcastle now, and we're starting to sort of, we've watched many times, the wingers start to link up with him and bringing players into play. I don't think Germany use him as well as they could.
They go through Gnabry and Wirtz, and he's kind of isolating. He's kind of a last resort if they need to get rid of the ball quickly, put it in his general direction, and hope that he can kind of control it and lay it on, which he does generally.
Yeah. Another super chat, this time from Derek. Hey, Paul, Billy and Stado. Enjoying the show. Keeps me going, lads. Thank you very much, Derek. Much appreciated. We do have to talk a little bit about Sweden as well, because... And listen, forget the fucking rat, okay? I'm not here to, dig at the rat and say, but I do think part of it was down to his disgraceful behaviour in the summer, that he wasn't fit for Sweden. However, you have to feel for Anthony Elanga and, of course, Emil Kraft, because they'd want to play without a shadow of a doubt in the World Cup. And I think Anthony Elanga apparently lost his temper completely in the tunnel. Having a right go at manager John Dahl Tomasson. Now, I'm not going to sit here and back Tomasson because he said some rather rude things about Newcastle United, quite frankly, in the summer when he was backing the rat and everything like that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, poor Mr. John Dahl Tomasson, because he's lost his job and all that. It serves you right. You've changed all the tactics for Sweden, who really, let's be fair, should have walked the group they're in. They haven't. But Anthony Elanga completely lost his temper and said the tactics need to change. This isn't good enough. Of course, Elanga didn't start the game. I mean, does he have a point, guys? Is that just pure frustration from a player who really wants to play in the World Cup? Apparently, the Swedish media is certainly on his side. They're not having a go at Elanga. But is that right for a player to do that when all the cameras are there? Is it just pure frustration?
Of course it is. I mean, he's hardly had any minutes himself for the Swedish national team. Thomasson's what he's done is he's changed the system to accommodate both the strikers as a forward too. It never worked from minute one to when he was sacked. So, he's once again a manager who can't go back on what he's kind of put in for his ethos. And when it didn't work, he couldn't change it. He was just a poor bit of managing for me. And he quite got the sack, because Sweden should really be qualifying for these big tournaments with the players they've got.
Yeah.
Well, he'd clearly lost the dressing room already, because that sounds like quite a formulated thing to say. Writing about the formation means he's had that conversation with other people. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's very likely that the players have had this conversation together.
Yeah.
Because he's, there's all the memes about him, because I think he's Danish, isn't he? It's a plant. He's sabotaging the team. It's so bad. And Sweden are not very well known for sacking managers. I think this is the first one they've sacked officially in, I don't know, it's decades. I think
they said it was the first one they've ever sacked, which I find astounding.
That's officially,
yeah.
But there was more. There was I can't remember who it was. There was a story about one of their fullbacks who got played in midfield the other night, but wasn't tested in midfield during any of the training, so just plays fullback for I think it's Dortmund. I can't remember who it is. I can't remember his name. And then just went and played in midfield with no training with Sweden, implying he was going to be playing, no prep for that position. Which, if he's doing stuff like that, absolutely, of course he's going to lose the dressing room. What an absolute idiot! So it baffles me how people get into these positions.
He's clearly
because they're all clearly clever.
Yeah,
how do they drop the ball so easily? It's weird.
Yeah. They shouldn't be losing to Kosovo. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, it's an absolute...
It's not just that. It's just about your team management. Like, if you've got a fullback, sticking him in midfield, having not told them anything. Apparently, they released the team lineup, like, really late as well. So nobody knew where they were playing.
Yeah.
or who was playing.
Well, incidentally, Isak is getting a lot of hammer, by the way, from Swedish media. But let's
Scouse
just
media, yeah, because we know what he's like, how long he takes to get back up to match fitness. But
well, is he? But it's like Billy says, is he ever match fit, Isak? Because he doesn't finish 90 minutes very often, and when he does, the last 20 he's non-existent in a game. So
I think the issue is with him is his off the ball stuff has never been very good. So when he's not sharp, it looks doubly bad because he doesn't do the basics very well either in terms of the press, the physicality, the hold up, the flick ons. He doesn't have a lot of that if he's not match fit. So when he's not doing the runs in behind and scoring, you look at all you can look at, which is the off the ball stuff. He's not very good at it. So he looks really bad when he's not match fit. And we've seen that historically with him anyway. So
now, for someone that's over 6 foot, I don't think I've ever seen such a weak physical specimen as a professional footballer. He's got no stamina. He's got no strength. Doesn't do a lot of running. Odd, isn't it?
and for people who are watching this who are not fans of Newcastle
Said
United,
this. Yeah,
we've always said this.
Yeah.
We've always said, the three of us have always said he's missed that final edge in the same way that I always say Bruno is missing top end pace and acceleration to be elite. I think Isak's missing some physicality. If Isak had physicality as well, he'd be better than Erling Haaland hands down every day of the week.
Yeah.
But he's not got that bit.
Amit is saying, guys, why are you not leaving the topic of the rat? Because we're talking about Sweden.
We're talking about Elanga.
We're talking about Elanga and how it's affecting him and things like that. So it's not just about the rat. Warren says footballing karma as regards to Sweden and Liverpool. Well, I don't think it's regards to Sweden. I feel sorry for Sweden, to be honest. Magpie 50 says, guys, I honestly think something has changed with J7 over the past year. Should we try for a replacement now? Your thoughts?
I think we've already got him.
Well, yeah, I have a feeling Mr. Ramsey might be playing I could honestly see Ramsey starting the game on Saturday ahead of Joe Linton. Time will tell on that. Of course, he is apparently fit, but I'm more worried about left back if Minter plays. To be honest, we'll talk about that in the actual preview show. Now, just before we go on to look ahead to Newcastle's games between this and the previous international break, because if you didn't know, folks, there is another one in November, which is just a pain in the arse. However, maybe it's not a pain in the arse for the players that play for England. You know, Anthony Gordon likes to get in there. And big up to Elliot Anderson as well. Obviously no longer at Newcastle United, but his growth has been phenomenal. Exactly. 2 Geordies in the England side finished the game yesterday. Anderson.
Well, we're already qualified, so for me, Tuchel should be just playing players that are nowhere near the first team. Get them ready for international football. Players that want the fringes.
No, because Harry Kane needs to get his numbers up, doesn't he?
Obviously, but I wouldn't even have him in the squad. I'd pick a squad without.
Well, Billy, you wouldn't have had Harry Kane in the last 25 England squads. Let's be fair. I mean, you know, let's be really truthful about it. You are not Harry Kane's biggest fan, but
he played well last night. To be fair to him,
he did. But because Tuchel's playing him further forward, in my opinion, I'm seeing him.
Yeah, he's really.
I'm seeing him more forward. He still comes back, which is really frustrating. But I think Tuchel's trying to work on that, to be fair. Now, what I did put in the description for the show tonight was about Eddie Howe. And is he the one person at Newcastle United with all the power? Now, we did touch on this slightly last week, but it seems like more and more pundits are now saying the same thing. The latest to comment on this is ex-Newcastle United fullback and radio pundit John Anderson. And this is what he had to say. He says, you just hope Ross Wilson hangs on an awful lot longer than the previous ones did. The one person with all the power at St James's Park is now Eddie Howe. And that's because he's gone and won a trophy, and it's something that hasn't been done in such a long time. Interesting comments from John Anderson, and this is what he had to say about Ross Wilson coming in. They definitely needed to get somebody in. You just hope that Ross hangs on an awful lot longer than the previous ones did, because we've had 2 sporting directors who didn't hang around too long, so they have to get this one right. They had to take their time, and they had to choose carefully. The one person with all the power at St James's Park is Eddie Howe, because he's won the trophy, something that hasn't been done in such a long time. I'm not too sure Eddie Howe was on the same wavelength as the previous incumbents. Hopefully, he will be with Ross Wilson. I don't think they want to be finding gems cheaply and selling them high. They want to find gems cheaply and hold on to them. They do not want another Alexander Isak situation. It was really messy. We've got Sven Botman, who's got 18 months left on his contract. You want to tie down your best players, and hopefully they're in negotiations to do that. But I think the Isak situation was a serious learning curve. So, does Eddie have all the power, Alex? That is the question.
No. No, he does not.
In your opinion, he doesn't. I don't think he does either, by the way.
Power in reference to what exactly? Because obviously there's a lot of elements to running a football club.
Well,
so that depends on your metric. But he certainly
and things like that. I don't know.
No,
thing to say.
I don't believe he does. Eddie Howe has stated in press conferences not that long ago that they need that structure. He needs it. I think he obviously didn't play very nice in the sandpit historically. However, they had a summer with little leadership and exiting Darren Eales and ill Darren Eales with no Amanda Stavley, with no Paul Mitchell. You know, he had to do it with his nephew and Nixon. So he obviously felt that. And I think maybe this was good for him because he's realised he definitely does need that support structure. And he probably knew that anyway. I think that's being a bit harsh on him. But he definitely does want a lot of power of the decision making, of probably the squad building, and I don't see why he shouldn't be involved in it. However, we do need to make sure that Ross Wilson has got the power as well. There needs to be a bit of give and take, and Eddie has to accept that. You can't bring someone in to be senior to just not agree or listen ever. You can't have it like that. So. And I think that's been agreed. I think that will have been agreed. Otherwise, there would have been additional tensions. You know, Craig Hope and people like this always get the inside scoop on drama. And if there was anything going on the inside where Eddie Howe doesn't want a DOF because he wants this, I think that would have come out. So, and it hasn't. So he's clearly ready, and he knows he needs it. So I don't see an issue, to be honest, at all. I think it's pretty standard.
Chris at Evermore says attitude isn't important as ability. Mitchell's ego was too big previously, so hopefully Wilson can play nice with others.
See, Chris has spanned that the opposite way round. I think, Chris, a lot has to get put on Eddie because he didn't get on with Dan Ashworth or with Paul Mitchell. So the common denominator here is Eddie Howe, whether anybody likes it or not. That is a fact. Not to say that Ashworth didn't have a difficult personality, obviously didn't last at Man United, but Paul Mitchell has never historically had a problem, but obviously did with us. So it's, you know, the comments made public, you could tell it was friction. But I also, who said this? Was it John Anderson? I mean, how did he start that comment? He said Ross Wilson, I hope he hangs on, I think, with the words you used, or he used.
Just hope he hangs on an awful lot longer than the previous ones did.
Hope he hangs on. Why are we starting a sentence like that? That's a very loaded way of putting that point across.
Well, it's as if he's already walking on a tightrope.
It's as if I've got an opinion and I'm going to phrase it in such a way to try and get you all on board with my opinion, which I think is I don't like that way of speaking journalistically. I think that's naughty. I think you have to lay all your cards down and let listeners, viewers make their decisions. That's very much my vibe. I think that's naughty. There's nothing to suggest that he needs to hang on because of reasons. I think that's bullshit, to be honest.
Well, it's putting the pressure on straight away, isn't it? I mean, it's not a great thing to start off with, Billy, is it? You know, like he's coming in and he's hanging by a thread as soon as he walks through the door, which I think is a little bit harsh.
Well, I think if he looks himself, he will see that Newcastle United have gone down a different route this time with regards to the sporting director, and not gone for the more elite candidates, if you like, more elite sporting directors in world football, and they've gone for one who won't bring the brinkmanship that maybe Mitchell and Ashworth did bring. It's got to be a team. It's got to be a team and united effort. Eddie Howe's got to tell the kind of players too. Obviously, it's this system they've got to play under, and therefore he has to tell the sporting director what kind of system he wants to play and what kind of players he needs to fit that system. That's how them two work together. I never got the impression that actually worked when Mitchell and Ashworth were there. And, Eddie Howe did throw his toys out of the pram. We saw that when he basically isolated himself to Mark Gahey in last summer's transfer window for one signing for all the positions we need to fill in. So I don't think he has played nicely in the sandpit. I think it's obvious that he hasn't. But I think he's got no excuse this time. And, the two of them will have to work together. Wilson's got less behind him in the way of experience and success, let's say. And I think that Eddie Howe will be able to kind of help him along to see his way of thinking more than the other two probably could.
Well, Eddie's got to be careful as well, by the way, because if Eddie, or if this relationship deteriorates, then the spotlight is certainly on Eddie Howe,
100%.
who cannot play nice. So he's got to make this work as well.
Yeah, 100%. Chris says it's maybe because his terminology lacks decorum, a little bit old school. He has said things in the past though as well.
Yeah, but that's not our problem, is it? If you're going to go and be a radio presenter or a pundit or a journalist,
you have to be up to speed with the modern day terminology, I guess.
I don't care.
But I do understand
where Chris is coming from. Do it right.
Yeah, I do understand where he's coming from though, because Anderson has said things in the past which have been taken out of context, and he's had to come back on the radio and explain what he actually meant. So
it's a very specific way he's worded that. Hands on.
Yeah. Samsonite Dove says, just realised I landed in Thailand with 3 hours and 20 minutes to get through immigration, hotel check-in, and finding a sports pub before the derby kickoff. Anyone that doesn't know, the game has been moved. The game at the Stadium of Shite has been moved to December the 14th, which is a Sunday, and it's a 2 p.m. kickoff. So make sure you change that in your diaries, folks. 2 p.m. kickoff, Newcastle go to the Stadium of Shite. But that game will be live here on Matchday Live, and what a day that will be.
Let's not forget, as well, as regards to the sporting director, his job isn't just with Eddie Howe, it's with the under-21 coaches, it's with the women's team's coach.
It's with Dave Hopkinson as well. It's with everybody,
Dave Hopkinson, he's got to be a jack of all trades for different teams.
Yeah,
I do have an additional point on this. Sorry, Paul. I know you keep taking a breath in there.
No,
I do want us to shift our recruitment model to a degree as the revenue grows.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're recruiting for the first team in the squad. But if you look at some other clubs, Chelsea do this very well. They just recruit, just generally. They have certain profiles of players, and they just go buy them. It doesn't matter if they end up working for the squad or for the first team. Fantastic. If they don't, they get their money back, or they make money on them. I think we should definitely be pushing into that as we can afford to. We've not been able to in recent years. Obviously, we've been clearing out long overdue players that should have gone years ago. You've got to just recruit where you can, but we need to start moving into that where we're just recruiting good profiles for financial purposes.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get a better hit rate on successful transfers, because at the moment we are again we're in that position where we've got to be absolutely perfect with the transfer, because if we drop 60 mil on a player that doesn't work, we're in so much trouble. So if you go and get the 10, 15, 20 mil signings from here, there and everywhere, you need to get your money back.
Absolutely.
It's a really good way of doing it, but you need the leeway to be able to do that. So obviously growth and PSR, but that's what your Ross Wilson ideally needs to get in place.
Yeah. Listen, there's nobody. I don't think anybody underestimates the size of the job that Ross Wilson's coming into more than Ross Wilson. He knows he'll have seen what's happened with the previous director of footballs. This has got to work. And
I think he's quite fortunate to come in now, if I'm perfectly honest. Paul Mitchell, if we look back, and the light was probably on the wall once we won that cup, because we won the cup without any input really from him.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what they do, but hopefully we've got the team is now in place. CEO's there, DOF's there, manager, and let's just give them all our support. And then if things don't work out, we'll talk about it. If things work out, then we'll talk about it. So let's just hope and keep fingers crossed that this time, third time lucky, we've got a good one in. Craig says, Paul, Billy, Stato and Lady Sam, thank you for the entertainment and content. I love listening to you all every week. All the best from a smoggy. Well, there you go. By the way, I remember being at do you remember 2 years ago at the Content Awards, Alex? We had the two lads from the Middlesbrough podcast. I can't unfortunately remember. They were cracking lads.
I think it was Burropolis. I think it was called.
Burropolis or something like that. Yes, and they were great lads. I think they're still going now as well. But they were absolutely great lads. Along with I think it was football. It was a Tottenham channel, Heritage or something.
It
like
was
that.
a Spurs channel who could
they
not
were-
believe how cheap Jaeger bombs were because they've never been out of London.
Yeah, it was
Just bought
superb.
Jaeger bombs for everybody. It was quite amusing.
They were great. They were great guys. Great guys. Warren says, "I hate sand get everywhere. It shouldn't stay out." What on earth is he talking about?
Lord knows. Lord knows.
Kieran says, if Willock gets sold in either window, would anyone consider Menu from Man United or Canavinga from Real Madrid? I don't know why that took
Cunnilingus.
so long to say. Cunnilingus, yeah. I wouldn't mind Menu, to be honest. But I don't think he'd
Yeah,
come
but
as...
Camavinga, Kieran, I think that's like Billy asking for Pamela Anderson again. We would like a lot of things, but we can't just
want
go
it now.
and pluck the versatile superstar out of Real Madrid.
Yeah, I'm going to say, she's gone all weird, hasn't she? Refusing to wear
Absolutely.
makeup now and all of that. And yeah. Moving swiftly on. Now, Newcastle United, obviously, the games come thick and fast again before the next international break, where we take on... we take on Brighton next. Then we're at home to Benfica in the Champions League on Tuesday. We're then at home to Fulham and then at home to Tottenham. So Tottenham's, of course, the Carabao Cup. But I don't know about you guys, but Premier League-wise, we've got... Brighton on Saturday. Then we've got Fulham at home. Then we go to West Ham, who aren't exactly tearing it up. And then Brentford away on the 9th before the next international break. So this is a chance, guys, to get some points in the Premier League, isn't it? We've got to... And look, I made a point this morning, fellas, on the show of saying that we have to stop... When does it come to a point of saying that we have to stop saying, I'd take a draw? I'd take a draw at some of these away games, because surely where we want to be and where the club want to be as an elite side, we've got to be looking like the bigger clubs. We've got to be acting like a big club now and saying, right, let's go and win these games.
I'll take a draw at Brighton. To be honest.
Well, listen, fuck off. We don't have a good record against Brighton in the Premier League. I think we've only beaten them once in the Premier League, right? Which is not a good record. The Amex has been a stinking place for us to go. But I just think the way we're playing now, surely we have to look at that game and think, yeah, we can win that.
We should think that about any game. However, I would take a draw. It's a hard
You've got to
game.
appreciate it. It's the fixtures in between that are difficult. We've got a Champions League fixture and a Carabao Cup fixture.
We have. Well, we've got
Obviously,
two
the
Champions League
fixture-
games, Alex. We've got two.
Who's the other one against?
It's at home to Bilbao. So we've got two home games in the Champions League coming up.
Well, there you go.
The
So
Bilbao one's on fireworks night, by the way. So let's hope we...
you've got one of the best teams in Portugal. You've got one of the better teams in Spain, and then you've got Spurs, who are a very, very good Premier League side in between all of those Premier League fixtures. So it's not a case of can we beat all of those teams? Absolutely. If we've got our first 11 and we're in a good mood, everyone's fit and firing, we beat all of those teams hands down. I don't think there's a concern. But it doesn't always work like that. You don't play
Listen,
you don't play
Alex,
football
I'm
on
not sitting
paper.
here saying we're going to win every game, mate. No doubt about that. But surely
No,
we need to
it
have a bit of a
depends.
winning mentality now.
Could we go on a run? Yes, but I would. There's more of an expectation that we're going to have a few lulls where we're, it'll be the lads they put a lot of effort into Sunday, so the Wednesday wasn't quite as this happened, that happened. Maybe we weren't quite at our levels. That'll happen at some point. It's just the nature of the beast. We've not got the deepest of squads. We've got a deeper squad than we've ever had in the modern era, so it's still better. Ramsey to come back into the fold. I don't think Johan Viss is ready yet, unfortunately. But we've got players coming back. Lewis Hall now looks like he's hopefully going to be available at some point soon. So it's fine. We're as prepared as we can be, minus Johan Visser. Livramento being a bit of an issue as well.
I don't think we'll see Wissa or Hall before the next international break, if I'm only honest, guys. I don't mean to put a downer on it. I just don't. I don't see it.
We don't know about Hall yet, do we?
Yeah, Visser, I'd agree, but Hall, I
really.
think, is Eddie Howe keeps going left and right and left and right. We don't really know. So he said he just didn't feel right, and they're just trying to. And I think they're doing the right thing. You know,
no, but then they had to send him for
Hall,
another scan, and then that scan came back, and they had to send him for another scan 10 days later, which probably might have taken place now, but he was expected to be out for another few weeks after that.
Yeah, but they're being careful with him, aren't they? For the sake of overplaying him and maybe being a bit negligent, and then all of a sudden he's out for 6 months. They're really being careful because we want him this season, which we appreciate. That it's frustrating in the moment, but if we overplayed him and he was out for 6 months, we'd all be furious with that. So that's why we got Bunts in to manage these situations as well. So, but yeah, I think the squad is ready for this run as best as it can be. You know, William Osula has been a very good rotation player, and he's going to have to step up because this is still not available, and Voltemada cannot play all of these matches, all of these minutes. As good as he is at the moment, we've got to protect him too.
Billy, this is where Eddie earns his corn, though, isn't it? Because this is where he has to get squad rotation right. It's not about just, we've got players to come in. It's about rotating them so we don't lose any momentum, isn't it? So he's got big decisions to make over the next few weeks.
Oh, it's not easy. Sometimes it's easy to have the bigger problem of just having one choice to pick. You know, who else does he pick? Now he's got choices to make in virtually every position, and he's got to get results out of that, which isn't easy. You know, if he gets it wrong, then he'll get criticised for it, no doubt.
Well, we've got a handful of players that have not been on international duty as well. So that you've got your Jacob Murphy, Barnes, you got Malik Chow didn't go, Trippier didn't
Botman
go,
and Chow didn't go. So
Botman didn't go. Jacob Ramsey didn't go. So you've got a lot of players that were not involved in international football, and that is the core of an 11. So that can only be to our advantage.
And Dan Burn only got 20 minutes, so he'll be in.
Yay.
Dan Burn will be left back. I mean, we just have to accept that now. As much as we hate it, we're just going to have to accept that while Lewis Hall is out.
Fit as well?
I don't know. Well, if Gillespie's not fit, I'm going to ask a serious question. Why?
I don't mean to be mean about Dan Burn, guys. By the way, I'm Dan Burn left back is my problem.
It still scares me. It scares me at Dan Burn against pace. But what I did say this morning is we do have, Botman has done really well covering for him. He reads the game so well. He seems to anticipate when Dan Burn's not going to get the ball, and he gets there more 9 times out of 10.
But this is the problem though. To make Dan Burn at left back work, you need Botman to put out fires, Joe Linton to put out fires, which is affecting his game, and you need Gordon to put out fires, which is affecting his game as well. So you need basically babysitters to make him fit that position, which I think means he doesn't fit that position.
Very true. Very true. Susan Fagan, I just saw your comment there. Why are you looking like Ali G? Very funny. I don't swear at women, though. Warren Dinning says, how about a pig with lipstick? Billy, great date night. Next day, bacon, sausage, brekkie, and chop and chips for tea. Just a good one. Job's a good one, sorry. Warren, I sometimes wonder what planet you're on, mate, to be fair.
So what you want me to do is go out on a date with someone, do the business, then kill them and eat them.
Yeah.
That's a bit dark, mate.
It's very dark. I know Halloween's coming up, Warren, but I suggest you stay indoors, mate.
John, Newcastle 21s, by the way.
Yeah, they're at Mansfield tonight, aren't they?
They're 1-0 up, and it's Heffernan with a goal.
Cool. John Green, a member for 32 months now on the channel. Rotation should not mean Gordon up front and Dan Burn at left back. Well, he's got to play Dan Burn at left back. I mean, he doesn't have to, don't get me wrong, but he's not. He's obviously not got enough faith in Alex Murphy playing there, so we may as well forget that. But for the big games, I'd
sooner play Botman at left back. I'd sooner play Botman at left back and Burn as the centre half. To be completely honest with you, it's never going to happen.
Botman's not blessed with pace either, though. That's the problem.
He's quicker than Dan Burn, though.
Well, yes, yeah. Eddie says Halloween is coming and Paul's going as a Twinkie. What's a Twinkie?
It's what you look like.
It's American food, isn't it?
Well, Alex, I'd rather look like this than you. There you go. Anyway, listen, guys, obviously the Champions League coming up as well. We just had a super chat in from Sean. Would you rather have a Sula or Soloth? I'd definitely go with the Sula. Great show again, lads. Well,
Did you see Soloth against us in pre-season? He absolutely murdered us.
He ripped Dortmund apart as well. I think it was Dortmund, or was it? No, it was Real Madrid. Sorry, in La Liga, he ripped them a new one as well.
Is a monster.
He has been linked with us for a January move, but I think that all depends on Wissa.
9. He is older.
He's 29. Yeah, he's 29. But who knows? But these Champions League games, guys, the two of them. That we play before the international break, both at home, both opportunities to win. Benfica at home, I haven't really checked how Benfica are doing. I know that Jose Mourinho was manager. They lost to Chelsea. I haven't
started my prep yet.
Last time out. And, of course, we have a really special relationship with Bilbao. Those fans met our fans last time out. Of course, they were in Belgium. They were travelling across to Dortmund. They stopped off in Belgium, met Newcastle fans. It was a great atmosphere, apparently. But they are two difficult games. But I think they're both winnable. You know, they're not. Benfica are obviously massive in Portugal, but in European football in terms, they haven't progressed to Champions League finals for, I can't remember the last time they were there.
Wow.
But surely we've got to look at these two games, Billy, and think, yeah, there's an opportunity for 6 points here and really push our chances of qualification.
Well, the home games to start with. So,
yeah.
For one, whoever we're playing at home, we should be really trying to win the game. I don't think Benfica's form can be that great if they're sacking managers. So, if they've sacked managers...
they're unbeaten in their league.
Are they? What are they sacking for?
5 wins, 3 draws. I don't know. I'm not in the league.
Billy, I think when it comes to the likes of Benfica, you draw 2 games and the fans want you out. But I think Benfica, they need to win every game.
They drew 0-0 to Porto in their last game. I don't know who was manager at that point. If it was still, it was Mourinho. Yeah, so Mourinho got the 0-0 draw against Porto away, but Porto are top of the league. To be fair, they lost 1-0 to Chelsea. They still have a 37-year-old Otamendi as a centre half.
Benfica,
is he still playing? Otamendi?
He is, yeah, he's their centre half. Pavlidis, the Greek guy up front that we've looked at several times.
He's a good player, the Pavlidis.
Yeah. Simon Neal says, evening all, my TTR hoodie came today. A thing of beauty. Granny T-shirt now on order. Toon. Thank you, Simon. I have trimmed down the website and the products available on there to the more popular ones. So thetoonreview.com if you want to go and have a look at merchandise. We got beanie hats, we got mugs and coffee mugs and T-shirts, hoodies, loads of stuff on there. So go to thetoonreview.com for all your channel merchandise. Go and have a look and see if there's anything you fancy to support the channel with.
I don't think Nicolas Otamendi was great when he was in his peak.
No, I thought he was all right at Valencia, but after that, I think,
He'll be 38 in February, so he's not far off 38, to be fair. He's...
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's on the back end of his career. Sean with a super chat. Would you rather... Oh, I've read that out. It's Soloth, mate. I would, anyway. Warren says, I'm not dark, just misunderstood Paul, my pumpkin. I mean... I haven't been called a pumpkin for a while, but there you go.
I mean, he might be referring to your hat. I'm not sure.
Well, my hat's yellow. So when was the last time you saw a yellow pumpkin? They're orange.
What are we drinking?
Just mad at that fountain.
There you go. Foxy's given us some context. Apparently they lost to Karabag as well.
Yeah, Karabag, yeah.
Bruno Lager, of course, yeah. Peter Garthwaite says, do you think Wilson has the ability to sign the likes of Waltemada? People are reporting Mitchell signed Van Dijk for Southampton, not Wilson. I think Wilson did sign Van Dijk. It was Mitchell who brought in Mane, because I was corrected on that when I did read it out. So, and I did check it. I think Mitchell got Mane and... Wilson got Van Dijk. Speaking of contracts, though, just want to touch on your guy's opinion. I touched on it this morning in the show regarding Kieran Trippier. Now, Newcastle United have obviously a decision to make because his contract runs out at the end of this season. Now, what I was discussing this morning was when do you turn around and say you look at it for footballing reasons to extend his contract, or you don't go near the sentimental value of it with what he's done for Newcastle United? I think Trippier's still got a bit to offer if he wanted to stay, but maybe start blending him into a coaching role like a player coach. But what Trippier gives us off the pitch as well would be such a massive blow if he was to move on. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I do think he's slowing down on the pitch. I think that's just... But he'll be 36 next September. And you don't see a lot of 36-year-old fullbacks in the Premier League. So where do you guys stand on it? Do we need to just be cutthroat and cut out the sentimentality now and just deal with it for what it is?
I think you've got to ask Trippier what he wants to do first. He may want to explore maybe playing abroad for a season or two and get a few quid in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
He may want to do that. And if that's the case, he's not going to sign for Newcastle, I wouldn't have thought. But he may not. He may want to retire and maybe become part of the coaching team. I think it's basically what Kieran Trippier wants to do. That's what will happen.
Mm. Alex, what about you? Because,
I think the way you've been talking about it, I don't like the way you've just spoken about that personally. I think sentimentality, I think for the kinds of contracts that historical players have gotten, this is the one player where that's not applicable to. I think Kieran Trippier still plays to a very high level.
I did say that.
Have we
morning,
noticed
though,
a drop off in his speed or certain elements and consistency?
Yeah.
Yes, we have. Definitely, that is true. But Kieran Trippier with less pace and less consistency is still a damn sight better fullback than most fullbacks in the Premier League. I think he's still fine to play somewhere between 20 and 30 matches of a season. Use him well, keep him. I say absolutely throw another year at him and say, stay, mentor people, be a leader, play 20 to 30 games, we'll manage your minutes, you be a quarterback, you don't have to be a flying fullback, do what you can. Absolutely. There is no... For all of the cheerleaders that we employ at this football club, this is one that deserves a bloody contract, absolutely, for what he's done for us and still has the ability to make a difference.
I agree with you,
on
Alex.
and off the pitch.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, you know, if we'd have got rid of Gillespie 2 years ago,
badges with him as well,
all of that money
help
Trippier.
him become a coach. You know, get his badges done. Except
depends what he wants. Depends what he wants.
Exactly.
It sounds nice, but
it's whatever he wants to do, basically. And he's earned that. He's earned it to make his own choice. And if he wants to go abroad or wants to go elsewhere, wants to play the Championship or League One, then he goes away with it.
For us, the fact that we've strung along Emil Kraft for several seasons when he knows he's not really going to play, he's going to get 5 appearances a season. We've had John Ruddy, who's never going to play. You've had Gillespie, who's never going to play. Absolutely no chance to even consider not offering Trippier a contract. I think is blasphemy to everything football. No, he has to stay at the football club.
Hell.
Give him what he wants. Make sure he's settled. Make sure he's got the resources in the area. His personal life, help him if necessary. Give him the right money. He is valuable. He's got to stay. He's a fantastic professional. And if he can only play 20 appearances a season, fine. He's still a slower Kieran Trippier. He's still better than 75% of the fullbacks in the Premier League. Comfortably.
Well, LG says, no, he hasn't, Billy. It's a business and we need no sentimentality.
It's not about sentimentality. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants to do. Let's be honest. He came to us. He didn't have to come to us. He took a pay cut. He left a championship winning side in Spain to come to a side that were non-certain to be relegated. He came through. He's got us the Champions League footballers. Yeah, the captain. He's been part of a trophy-winning side. I think Kieran Trippier. I think we owe Kieran Trippier the world. To be honest,
what I don't want to happen though is for Trippier to, take a real dip in form and look a sort of.
I think he'd know that. I think he'd know that, and I think he'd retire anyway.
Yeah.
Like Gary Neville did.
I think people are missing a trick here. Like what are the right backs of some of the clubs in the league? What right backs have we got? Who are Everton's right backs, for example?
Seamus Coleman.
Okay.
Well, he's 105.
He's hands down, and O'Brien. I mean, he's better than those two straight away. You've got Brighton. Who are Brighton's right backs? Is Trippier better than Brighton's right backs? They've got Vifa. I mean, I think he's better than Vifa, to be fair.
They play Van Heck there, don't they, sometimes?
Maybe. Who are like Fulham's right backs? No idea. They play Castagna as a wing back. Not a chance in hell. It's Kieran Trippier every day of the week. Like if you go and have a look at all the right backs in the Premier League, Kieran Trippier is in the top 25% on a bad day. On a bad day, certainly. So there is no point, I think. Why would we let him go? Because we're not going to be able to bring anybody remotely close to his quality in. Just extend him.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. Just
If he wants to, that is. If he wants to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's
But
going to
you
be
make him. You say you make him. You give him what he wants. You support him in that, in that decision, and try and get him on board, because Livramento can play the lion's share of the minutes. So
yeah. Warren says, "Hey guys, what the f is happening with the stadium? Nothing as yet."
Time.
And he's back again saying, Alex doesn't like the way people are phrasing it.
Phrasing what?
Phrasing what? Yeah, you've got to finish your sentences there, Warren, or we don't know what you're talking about. Lee, first time I've ever seen Mr. Bean wearing a hat. Mr. Bean.
I mean, he doesn't look like Mr. Bean. I mean, you could have made a better hat joke, Lee, to be fair, mate.
Yeah, Lee. Twat of the night goes to Lee.
Or two hats of the night.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, just to finish off, there was a report the other day. I did touch on this in a video, saying that some of the youngsters, when they were talking about Ross Wilson joining the club, some of the youngsters that may not have worked and may look to move on in January. Two of the names on the list, one of them was Alex Murphy, and the other one of them was Alfie Harrison. Are you surprised at those two names on that list?
Yes, a little bit. At this precise moment in time, I don't see how a director of football can come in and say who he wants, who he doesn't want. He hasn't seen them. So I'll take it all as nonsense, to be honest.
Somebody wants to see Billy and Bonnie Blue on pay-per-view.
What, fighting, huh?
Are we talking boxing or are we talking something else?
Bare bottom boxing by the sound of it.
Bare bottom boxing. Foxy says he could see Trippier going into management when his career's finished.
Yeah, so could I.
I think
who are we talking about? Alex Murphy and Alfie Harrison.
Alfie Harrison, yeah.
Alfie Harrison, well, every single time I've seen him in the flesh, struggled. I watch him every preseason. We'll go up to the northeast and watch the preseason games, and he struggles every single time. The most recent time, all it was Kieran Trippier saying, "Not there, over there, move back, go that way," which is great that Trippier is obviously helping someone out, but the kid didn't know where he was meant to be, and he was just constantly getting instructions with where to be. And you don't see that with all the younger ones. And he's clearly got great footballing talent, but we're now at a point where, is it going to be enough to get into our first team in the near future to sort of medium term? No, I don't think so, unless something drastically changes. Alex Murphy is a more surprising one, because it looks like we kind of, loaned him out to Bolton, and he did okay there. And it looked like he might get a chance as a rotation player, be involved in the squad. And it's just kind of not. So, I mean, if we can make money on both of them, the one thing we have to do is buyback clauses. If we're going to start doing this, we need to start doing it properly. We need to make sure we can get these players back if it works. We need to make it favourable for us financially.
What's Alex Murphy's squad number, by the way? Anyone know? Is it 62? I think he's playing tonight if he is.
Have a look. He might not have the same number if he's playing for the U20.
No, they've all got the same squad numbers on.
Eh?
Like Harrison's 44, etc., etc. When they come on for...
don't know, my FOT mod's frozen.
Murphy's not in the side.
He's not.
No. It's Taylor, Heffernan, Thompson, MacArthur, Alfie Harrison, Bailey, Munda, Neve, Sung Soo, Pivas, and Worcester. He's not even on the bench.
Oh, dear me, Harrison, that's dreadful.
Yeah, speaking of Alfie Harrison. Yeah, so we'll see what occurs. Cynical Jim, a member for 32 months, says, "What do you think about the pubs in the Toon thinking of court action to stop an extension of the Stacks license?" I am staying well clear of that. To be honest, that is something that is Well, look,
There are other channels that report on that kind of stuff with football.
yeah, it's staying well away from that. To be honest, that's a debate that will, 37.
I don't think anybody
is
knows
Murphy's
enough
squad
about
number.
it to say the right thing. It's very dangerous.
Yeah,
From someone on the outside looking in, it seems a bit churlish that pubs would be against competition. You know, after all, it's a competitive kind of business to be in.
So there's your answer. That is it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your super chats and memberships as well. Mods, thank you. And to my two esteemed colleagues, thank you very much as well. And to you guys out there, thank you very much for watching. I'm back in the morning for the breakfast show at 10 o'clock. And me and Billy will be back with the show tomorrow night. And then Friday night, we preview the Forest game. And then Saturday, Brighton. And then thank you, Billy, for putting me right.
I wouldn't mind playing Forest again, though, if we could.
Well, yeah, it'd be good. But on
Or
Saturday,
Staines.
Staines. Saturday, 2:30. Yes, I see what you did there, Billy. But 2:30 Saturday afternoon, match day live, of course, live commentary of Brighton versus Newcastle United with a kickoff of 3 o'clock. But thank you for watching, guys. Give it a like if you've enjoyed the show. And, of course, please do subscribe if you're new, as it really does push us out there in the YouTube algorithms. And we will see you all again tomorrow. Have a good night, folks. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out the breeze.